Hey, it's Webs here with day 3 of the Voyage to the Sunken City card review. So let's get discussing, shall we? The first card being Amalgam of the Deep, which is a 2-cost neutral minion with 2 attack, 3 HP, with the tag All, and the battle cry, choose a friendly minion, discover a minion of the same type. This is actually a pretty interesting minion if you actually think about it. This is the third Amalgam we're actually seeing, with Circus Amalgam actually rotating out, so it does seem like they're going to need to continue on the pattern of trying to keep a Amalgam into rotation whenever one rotates out, which is a cool idea. The artwork is really nice on this, and in theory you could actually go infinite if you had 2 copies of this. Though I don't know how much this one is going to see play. It does generate some value and does have a nice stat line for 2, but it does require you to have another minion on board for it to actually be useful, and it probably will be most useful in decks where the tribe that you're trying to copy has a very small pool. Card revealed is Miracle Growth, which is a 7-cost druid spell. That is a nature spell. Draw 3 cards, summon a plant with taunt and stats equal to your hand size. So for my first thought when it comes to this card is the legendary that got revealed yesterday. However, this is a 7-cost spell, so given the other 7-cost minions that are currently in rotation, most of those minions have a really bad stat line overall, so getting a 7-cost minion off of that might not be the best idea in the world, but at the same time, being able to draw 3 and generate a minion off of drawing 3 is probably impactful enough to actually see some play if there are actually some ramp druid support in this set, because ramp druid is losing a bunch of its ramping capability whenever the new rotation actually happens. I think Guff is the only guaranteed ramp that druid actually has after the rotation, but it really depends what's in the core set and what other cards we see for druid. It is cool to see hand druid is being a thing again. This set is really revisiting a lot of old decks, so until we see more druid cards, I don't know if this one will actually see that much play, especially because ramp is basically rotating out for the most part. So the next card revealed is the Garden's Grace, which is a 10-cost Paladin spell. That is a holy spell, and you give a minion +5/+5 and Divine Shield, and this costs 1 less for each mana you've spent on holy spells this game. So this card is actually kind of shocking. It supports big spell Paladin, even though Ceremonial Maul is actually rotating out, which is actually kind of frustrating because this would have been the perfect card for something like that. At least if that hammer actually looked at the original value of the spell that actually triggers its spell burst. But outside of that, I could see this seeing a lot of play just because of the fact that holy spells aren't that hard for Paladin to actually just play normally. So as long as there's a critical mass of holy spells or a critical mass of holy spell tutors, this card will probably see a lot of play, especially because this could replace Blessing of Authority for Sawdin decks, which aren't that real popular, but at the same time could give Sawdin 10/10 worth of stats and Divine Shield, which is something that makes him incredibly tanky and hard to remove. So there's a lot of possibilities with this card, and I'm looking forward to maybe trying to use it, but I can already tell this is going to be annoying to play against, especially if you can generate it pretty easily with the new minion from the Onyxia mini set. And finally, the last card revealed today is Nellie the Great Thrasher, which is Warrior's Colossus minion, which is a 7-cost minion with 5 attack, 5 HP. She is a beast with the Colossus of 1, and the battle cry, discover 3 pirate ships to crew Nellie's ship. And her appendage is Nellie's Pirate Ship, which is a 5-cost minion, taunt with Death Rattle, add Nellie's crew to your hand. They cost 1. So this is a card that I'm seeing a lot of people freak out about. I get why they're freaking out about it because of questline Warrior, but at the same time, I think a card like this is probably too slow, especially if the high roll is going to be Mr. Smite. Sure, you might get an additional copy of Mr. Smite for 1, but if there are a bunch of pirates in this set, I don't think this card will be as consistent enough to actually be a threat. It really depends on how many pirates we will see added into the game with this set. And the other thing that's worth mentioning for something like this, the flavor text on this card actually mentions Hooktuss, which probably does mean that Lieutenant Eddie was right when he just sarcastically guessed that Hooktuss was not going to be a rogue card, but this time going to be a warrior card, which is kind of sad because Hook Tusk was always a cool card in Rogue, but I guess Rogue has moved away from being the pirate class anyways, even though they do have Edwin, which is the most iconic pirate there is in the Warcraft universe. It's a little bit annoying, but it is what it is. I guess I understand why they made a Colossus minion like this for Warrior, but I would have definitely preferred something that would have supported Control Warrior or some other type of warrior that hasn't seen that much support, because I'm really sick and tired of just seeing Pirate Warrior getting support. It's probably the Colossus minion I'm least looking forward to actually using, just because it's a deck that I don't want to make another video on anyways. With that being said though, let me know what cards out of these 4 that you enjoyed the most. And like always, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, bye bye.